Hello and welcome back to the Retro Wonderkids. This is episode 6, penultimate episode. We're in 2037 and 34-35 years old for most of the players. So this is an episode where we might see less than 24 players featuring in our shortlist. Some of them may have retired, some of them may have gone on to be managers or different job roles, which is something we're going to kind of look at in the last episode, episode 7, when they're going to be 40, and I expect most of them have retired and moved on to whatever they're doing and maybe have managerial careers, but we'll touch on that at the end of the episode. But here we can see Romario is saying something in the press. Now I'm going to guess that's probably a staff thing. It doesn't look like a player one. Backer, I don't know who Backer is. Must make huge. It could be suggesting a player makes a move. Who's Backer? He's a Dutch player at PSG, so he could just be telling his teammate to make a big move. I'm not sure Tottenham is a bigger move than PSG. Certainly not financially, I wouldn't have thought. But I mean, Tottenham may be all conquering in this save at this point in 2037. Who knows? Nearly 20 years sort of from now. Who actually knows? So let's get into the shortlist and we'll see straight away if there's less than 24 in there. There's one retiree. Now I've got to try and figure this out. Let me have a quick look and see if I can figure this one out. Okay, I figured out who it is. It is R9 Ronaldo. Is the first one to actually retire. So let's see if he's still in the game as a staff or whatnot. Director of football, is this him? This is him. 34 years of age, director of football. So we'll add him to our... Oh, okay. When they're a player, they automatically go to your staff shortlist. I wasn't aware. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know for the next episode, when we can just go straight to this and see everyone there, hopefully. Or we'll have to work out who's maybe retired and disappeared from the game. But what we'll do, we'll go to the player shortlist now and start from the top as per usual. What we now, 2037. A lot of these might actually be coming up for contract renewals at 34. Oh no, well, some of them might be. Some of the ones down the bottom perhaps. But Lev Yashin still at the top. Well, not still at the top, he's at the top. But at this stage, a goalkeeper you'd maybe expect to a degree. Go a bit longer. I mean, in the next episode he might even still be playing at 40 years of old. He's that good as well. He's on 193 caps, 250 grand, still with Spurs. Yeah, 41 million, not wanted, hasn't budged since he moved to Tottenham. Joined them from Huddersfield for nearly 60 million, and I mean, boy, do they not regret it. He's still keeping more clean sheets than he's playing games. Conceding less goals than he's playing games on average most seasons. I think he's only done it once or twice. He's gone over here once here by a goal, once by 2. About 12 there, which is a bit of a drop. Always in the Premier League, hasn't improved on that, but 624 goals conceded. 678 games, 247 clean sheets. I mean, that record just speaks for itself. It's absolutely phenomenal. Next up is Gerd Müller. He's still at Arsenal. 143 goals, 155 games. I think this is one that he started at Leicester or somewhere like that. I'm not too sure, but we'll have a look in a minute at his history, obviously. But I don't think he was a wonder kid at the start. He's made it, but we mentioned it at the very first episode. There are some players that maybe aren't going to be quite as good. But when they get to a big club, they're going to have facilities, the staff and the management around them and the players around them to just progress and grow. And this is the example of Gerd Müller. He's now the second best valued player. I mean, he's actually joint 41 million actually. He's got 1 year less on his contract, but he's the second joint valuable player at the moment. Not necessarily the best, depending if you're judging it on goals, performances, caps, depending how you think about it, but he's the second most valuable there. He's still got a lot of his physicals. Pace has dropped a tad, 11 down to 11 now, but the finishing, everything else is still there. And actually, go back to Lev Yashin a second, because we didn't look at how he's done since the last episode particularly, which was 2032. Yeah, so since then he's done 38 goals conceded against, 11 clean sheets, 29 and 36 conceded with 16 clean sheets, 33 and 33, 11 clean sheets. Quite a few player matches in there as well, 66, could have been probably more to be honest. I'm sure he's got them in a lot of games. 30 and 35 with 10 clean sheets, and the season just finished. 17 clean sheets, is that his best? He's had 20 he did 20 once, he's had 17 once. So he's 34 years of age, he's probably had his second best, joint best season. 27 conceded, when he did 17 he conceded 30 and 36. A much better season in his penultimate years, but it just shows that goalkeepers just, you know, fine like wine, they just get better with age. But yeah, back to Gerd Müller. So with 41 million, he's got 155 caps, 143 goals since 2032, which was here, which was the last season we had. He's at 21 in 38, playing every game, 1 sub appearance actually in there. 11 assists, 11 player matches as well, 802 average. Not quite his best, but 21 goals, not even near his best goals either, but he's still ticking double figures in the 20s as well. 20 in 34 here, 8 assists, 9 player matches, 18 in 37, 12, he's starting to dip off now, 12 in 30 and 14 in 34. Still playing most of the games. We're seeing a few more sub appearances leap in there, possibly injuries, possibly someone a bit younger maybe stepping into the mould at Arsenal. Who knows, they might have even signed one of the other guys, they might even have 2 of them, who knows. Like I say, I don't look at these saves, so I don't actually know. I can't imagine Arsenal signed one of the guys, approaching 34, unless at the last episode when some of the contracts were up for renewal, if they managed to poach one of them. But I don't think they're the force in this save, but we'll have a look at the Champions League and all that at the end of this episode. Diego Maradona is number 3, still at Chelsea. He's been there since he left Brighton. I think he left Brighton quite old actually, older than some of the others that moved. But he's got 131 caps, 95 goals, £38 million in value, and still on 575 grand a week. He's still got 1 year left on this contract. Be interesting to see next episode if they did actually renew it. Hopefully a few of these players don't disappear out of the game after they retire, because we won't be able to see how they went after this episode. Hopefully not. Hopefully they still retained in the game. He loves Michel Platini, expires in 1 year. Yeah, we know that. Okay, so let's have a look at his history. So since 32 here, he then went on to do 11 in 26 of 22 starts, so less games, but still a good number of goals and assists. Good average rating as well. Probably one of his better average ratings. Yeah, he's had a 7.96 and 7.80, but third best rating there. But back in the goals next season, 36 with 17 goals, 11 assists, 17 and 36 again, less assists this time, but more player of the matches, and then 37 and 17 goals again, less assists, well, same as last season, 10 player matches again, and then the last season just gone. Yeah, you can see them starting to apart from the goalkeeper, see them starting to drop off a little bit now. 9 goals, 34 games. So how are his physicals looking? So I imagine he's still got 12. That's not too bad. Still got acceleration. Everything else is still there. But I mean, Maradona went till he was kind of this age in real life, and I remember his old Championship manager profile. If I can find it online, I don't think I'll be able to play it in time to get it, but I'll flick it up on screen now. He had like pace 1 or something at like 36 years old. I think it was a block of juniors, and you could sign him for. He would still do a job for you, but 1 pace. Ruud Gullit, number 4, still at United. 117 goals in 154 caps. 675 grand. I think that's the highest we've seen up to this point. I think it might have been that. I don't think it's been higher than that. I don't think we've seen a 700 grand a week player yet. Whether it exists outside of this shortlist, I don't know. But he's valued at £37 million. He's again got 1 year on the contract. Yashin, I think, has 2. The rest of them have like 1 year, or it seems so far. The outfield players, again, pace starting to drop, but everything else still absolutely, the mentals and technicals. Most of the physicals, to be fair, it's just the pace and acceleration in most of it. He's still got natural fitness. Everything else though, yeah, looking top notch. And since here, so he's done 16 goals in 35, 11 assists, and this is actually someone who's actually getting better in the last couple of years. He's hitting some of his best numbers ever, in fact, apart from this 30 season here. But he's got 18 with 15 assists, 23 with 36 with 7 assists, but then 25 in 35 with 9 assists, and then 20 goals in 36. So still hitting some good numbers there. The average rating still 7.61, still doing a very good job for Manchester United. Could be partly because they've got a few of these guys, and experience counts for a lot, and if they're winning things, they're going to still be doing bits. And I don't know who their manager is as well. We'll have a look at maybe some of the managers at the end of this season. We'll go through the clubs and see any interesting maybe managerial sort of move. Okay, we've got a trio, quadruple. I think the Man City players coming up. Franz Beckenbauer is the first, £34 million, 141 caps and 27 goals. Again, not the goal scorer, but he's still nipped in with a few for his country. And I'd be amazed if Germany haven't won a few things in this save, because we've got a few of those, and then we've got Gerd Müller, Beckenbauer, Mateus. They've got a good spine in that team. I don't know if we had any other Germans. Can't think off the top of my head. So where are we? 32 here. We've got, he's still picking in the goals, maybe not quite as many, but 7 assists, 6 games, 6 goals rather, 8 goals, 5 assists, 5 goals, 8 assists, just to switch it around a little bit. 3 goals, 7 assists, and the season just gone 5 goals, 8 assists, and a 7.22 average rating. He's still doing an absolute job for Man City, and since his £48 million move, there's going to be some testimonials for some of these players in, because once they've made their move, they've stayed true to their clubs. In fact, I think all of them pretty much have so far. There's 1 or 2 that have moved when their contracts have gone, and there's 1 or 2 that we knew were coming up at the end of last episodes. There might be some changes, but so far very loyal. Bobby Charlton at Man City, I mean, judging by some of the players that Man City have got on their books, I imagine they must be fairly dominant in most competitions and most things for the last good few years. 178 caps, 53 goals. Not far off what he got for goals in real life, I don't think. Where did Rooney finish in the end? I'm not too sure. I know they've got, is it Johnny Sharples on Twitter? He's regularly putting things up, disputing one of Rooney's goals. Does that make him not top goal scorer for England? I think possibly. He's always disputing the one against, I think it's Switzerland, off the top of my head. Yeah, it's funny. He's a funny guy. I love some of the stuff he puts up. He's very sarcastic to a lot of ex-footballers and celebrities and stuff, and he puts some great stuff out there, and he does a lot of good charity work as well. So I do recommend, go check him out on Twitter. And I don't know if he does anything for YouTube or anything like that. I think he used to do a blog, I seem to recall something like that. But yeah, go check him out on Twitter. He's a very funny guy. So very much trying to keep Sir Bob up there. In fact, no, I think Gary Lineker took over him anyway, didn't he? I think Lineker was Lineker the top? No, Lineker just fell short, didn't he? I think it's Rooney, Charlton, Lineker the field. I think at the moment. It was disappointing Lineker didn't make it. Well, he could have made it into this episode, even in fact into this series. In fact, again, anyone who you'd like to have seen, I think I've mentioned it in the descriptions and stuff, possibly in one or two of the episodes. Let me know who you'd like to have seen in this episode. If there's enough interest and enough names banded around, I might make another series and run those through it as well. Maybe do it in a different league, perhaps, just to mix it up a little bit. But let's have a look at his history. So we finished here. He went on to have 29 games, 4 goals, 6 assists. 26 games, 3 goals, 11 assists. A big jump in assists, back up to his usual not usual, but his higher numbers. Not a lot of player matches, but he's competing with a lot of players in this Man City team. 26 games, that's possibly the number of games being affected as well. So they've got a lot of players, and maybe some of them playing the same positions, and a few of them keep each other out. But he's dropped back to a defensive midfielder in his later years. Perhaps that's a part for it as well, the lack of drop in assists and stuff like that. But 3 goals, 5 assists in 34-35. 2 goals, 7 assists, and 3 and 2 in the season just gone, and actually a dip into the 6-point average. So possibly seeing the steady decline now of Bobby Charlton into his later years, hitting 34 years of age. He's actually had a few clubs, but he's been at Man City 10 years exactly now, so due a testimonial. Another Man City one, Alfredo Di Stefano. There is a gap in the next one, and then another Man City one. So yeah, they've got so many. 34 years of age, 93 caps, 75 goals for Argentina, and I don't know how he's so low on Argentina, because I mean, I'm guessing early years he maybe wasn't getting as many caps as maybe some of the others were. Obviously Messi was still there, Aguero was still hanging around, and a few others as well. 325k a week, £28.5 million, still first team. Paces, yeah, absolutely gone. 9 pace, 10 acceleration, but everything else, stamina's gone as well. Yeah, everything else though, pretty good. Strength still there, and agility, it's not bad. Balance, jumping reach, mentals and technicals as you'd expect, still absolutely phenomenal. He has been, a decline there as well. So his first season, I mean, the first season back, which would have been 26 years of age, 21 in 32, 6 assists, and then 16 in 31. But we're seeing those numbers dropping now every season. 29 games, 12 goals, 30 games, 7 goals, and now his return in this season just gone is very good. He's got 50% goals in his game, so 8 in 16 there, very good, and 3 assists. But it's the number of games have severely dropped. Not actually 9 starts and 8 goals. That's very, very good. Again, don't know if it's due to the number of strikers they maybe have, and they can rotate a few more rounds, and his pace is gone, so we're seeing maybe a Premier League with very athletic defenders. These guys starting to maybe have less of an impact. Platini next in line, a Chelsea player, £27 million, 675k a week. I think he was the top player in the last episode. Still is there, joint with, who is it we said was joint? I can't remember. 198 caps, 101 goals from midfield. I mean, elite attacking midfielder, not half. Again, pace, stamina, acceleration gone, agility's dropped as well. Strength is still there, and everything else is there pretty well. Heading 10, but that's probably fairly low to start with. Long throws, yeah. Tackling, yeah. Everything else is just absolutely phenomenal. And I doubt, maybe from an attacking midfielder or even midfield role, his stats probably haven't diminished that badly actually. So 14, yes, he's played less games on a few occasions. 32 games, 13 goals and 6 assists. 32 games, 12 goals, 9 assists. 38, 10, 10. 28, yes, we're starting to see a bit of dip here, less games and less influence. 5 goals, 6 assists. But back up this season to 36 games, possibly a bit of an injury hit season here. 36 games here, 5 off the bench of those, 7 goals and 12 assists with 4 player matches. Back in business, and yeah, hitting some good numbers there. 210 goals for a centre midfielder. It's not too shabby. He's been at one club his whole career. He hasn't left Chelsea, hasn't thought about leaving Chelsea, I don't think. Solid for them. Back to Man City, and we have got Paolo Maldini. Started at Wolves, went to PSG after about 6 years, I think. He was there for a couple of years, and now he's been at Man City for about 9 years, I think, actually. So he's, yeah, legendary centre back. Pace has dropped, but for a left back, centre back, not too much of a big deal. Everything else is still there. Yeah, natural fitness is still there. This guy probably is still hitting pretty good numbers. 13 goals and 175 caps. 275 grand a week, and he's got another year on his contract as well. I think most of these have. I haven't been looking too much at that. I think some of these values are possibly a bit lower than they probably even still would be. They'd still be hitting probably 40 million, a lot of them, with a year to go still. Yeah, so he had what, 5 years at Wolves, and then another 4 years at PSG, but then he's just been, yeah, Man City ever since. A free transfer for them as well. I mean, what a piece of business that is for them. 7.53, 7.52, 7.63, 7.62. Bit of a dip here, 7.19, but back up to 7.42. 2 assists. He's chipped in a good few assists. 19 goals over his career, 48 assists, 48 player matches, and an average of 7.42. I mean, living very much up to the Paolo Maldini that we all know. That, you know, did play for, you know, one club, AC Milan, all those years. Not quite a one club man, but phenomenal return on his Man City for free transfer, like I said. Absolutely crazy bit of business there. So Van Basten is at Barcelona. He's actually wanted. He's actually out of contract. He's actually out of contract this season. He's wanted by Man City, so that could be another free transfer they pick up. 170 caps, 88 goals, and his pace isn't quite there, but it's still better than Di Stefano at this stage. So if they can get him on a free, 350 grand a week. Yeah, if they can snap him on a free, that would be a pretty good bit of business for Man City. They'd have most of their players at some point. I am now starting to regret maybe going 5 years on to 40. I should have maybe staggered it a little bit. But he's only just joined Barcelona for £69 million from Liverpool. Wow, okay. So his first season after last episode was 13 and 34, 3 assists. But back up to 17 and 3 assists, 14 and 2. So he's not a very big assist maker generally. Most of them, he scored most of them. 23 in his first season at Barcelona. Now they had Pele, didn't they, and someone else, Ronaldinho, and I think Pele's contract was ending at the end of the last episode, possibly Ronaldinho as well. So it'll be interesting to see if they're still there or if he came in to replace them. But 23 and 23, and a bit of a decline this season, 11 and 23. But less games generally, but when he played, he scored. He scored every game he played in, or not every game he played in, but equivalent. His ratio was 1 in 1. So here is Pele. He is still at Barcelona. £11 million he runs out of contract this season too. So he obviously signed a new contract after last episode, 400 grand a week, 170 caps, 102 goals. And yeah, he played 14 games for Cardiff, but he's then played 413 for Barcelona, 350 goals. I mean, not a bad return for him, is it? Because he obviously won the World Cup there. We'll have a look at that at the end as well. I mean, 1 season at Cardiff, probably not even that. No, it wasn't even that. He got to January, I mean, went to Barcelona, hasn't looked back. 19 games, 16 goals, 12 assists. I mean, this guy does everything. 8.09 average, 23 with 17 goals, 4 assists, 20 with 15, 22 with 19, 24 with 22. 353 has got to be in for a shout there, the top goal scorer in this, surely to God. When you chuck his international goals in as well, so nowhere near the 1,000 he claimed to get in his actual career, but still phenomenal numbers being chucked back. 7.85 average rating over his whole career. I mean, apart from his opening season at Cardiff, which was a struggling team in the Premier Division at 15, 16 years of age, he's never dropped below 7. Came close in his first season at Barcelona, but still got 7 and 7. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal player over the course of this save, and he'd probably be higher up in the value if his contract wasn't running out in about a month's time. The English Roberto Baggio become a bit of a joke in this, an ongoing joke in this series. What to put him as Italy. 168 caps, 120 goals, 35 years of age, 325 grand a week. Still at Arsenal. Be interesting Gerd Muller was still at Arsenal, wasn't he? Yes, he was. So he's still here as well. £7.75 million. Yeah, pace is gone. Jumping reach gone. Maybe wasn't there completely anyway. Acceleration's gone, but again, everything else is just phenomenal. And he can play. Probably not going to play left wing that much. Can probably drop down into this spot a bit more. I probably should have created him more for that role a bit more actually anyway, rather than an out striker. I mean, he could do both. I think into Milan he played a bit deeper when he was there towards the end of his career. 21 goals in 37, 7.99, 14 with 7 assists, 11 with 4, 13 with 4. And the season just gone 18 goals. Okay, not quite his high numbers, but still very high. 8 assists as well, and 7.61 average rating. Again, probably coming close to a double. If he goes down a couple of years, a double testimonial there due for him. £70 million are very well spent by Arsenal. He's hitting not quite the Pele numbers, not quite Pele, but he's done very well. And he actually probably started a bit faster as well. He was straight in the Bournemouth team, scoring goals. He was for a couple of years, and into Arsenal and just progressively got better. Yeah, great phenomenal player for Arsenal there. And Georgie Best is still at Tottenham. 104 caps, 57 goals for Northern Ireland, £7.5 million now again. He's got a year left actually, so he's actually still got a lot of his pace and a lot of his acceleration. He's still doing okay in the physicals. 240 grand a week, not quite hit the heights I thought he would. One club man hasn't left Tottenham. I thought he would have left at some point. I thought someone like a Real Madrid or maybe in one of the Italian teams might have come in for him, but no, he stayed true to Tottenham. And then this season, start the first season, he got 14 goals. Pretty much carried on where he left off the season before. Not quite as many assists, but that was his by far best assist season. Not by far, he got 11 this one here, but those two were kind of rarities. He didn't really get double figures with assists, but goals, absolutely. He then 17 goals in 37 games. Very good return from a winger. 14 and 38, 12 and 38, and yeah, a bit of a decline this season. Still a good performance, still a good performer. 5 playing matches, 8 assists and 9 goals, but not quite the numbers. No double figures, which he had been kind of hitting, and goals certainly. But yeah, Georgie Best. And Romario is at Tottenham, so he was urging that PSG player to join Tottenham. Now we know why. 139 caps, 93 goals for Brazil, 205k. 30th of June, he's got a year left. Yeah, 205 grand. This guy I thought was going to be, in fact I think he is actually got more goals than Pele. 369. I think he's about 5 ahead, something like that. And he did leave on a free transfer when his contract went out at the end of last episode, so what, about a month after we finished. He went to Tottenham on a free, 18 in 29, 21 in 37, 18 in 37, 20 in 31, and then yeah, a bit of a decline. Good performance still again, but 9 33, and let's see what his physical's like. He's still not doing too badly, and Romario obviously was a player, he did like to run in behind and run from deep, so good pace and good acceleration, and was pivotal to his game, I guess. So yeah, but he's still got 86, 167 Tottenham in the time he's been there. This guy, he could still, he's dropping off maybe a little bit quicker than Pele, I think. So a good battle between them. There might be someone else ahead of them still, we don't know. And obviously if you take international goals into consideration, all-time goals, not just league goals, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Risto Stoichkov still at Manchester City. He's got 73 goals in 99 caps for Bulgaria. I think he was on 99 caps in the last episode, so did he retire early perhaps? Can we have a look at that? Does it say type international duty on 2032? So that would have literally been the end of last episode. Okay. Interesting. So he hasn't added any more to his goals for international wise. So he's very much going to be relying on his club goals. I don't know if any of the others have done that. Maybe he retired a bit earlier, but his pace is gone, acceleration's gone. He's dropped down his aggression to 8. So he's calmed down in his later years. His Twitch got famed to be a bit of a hothead. 215 grand a week. He's got a year left. Again, he left Man City early doors. He's not looked back. He's been there ever since. He's been hitting 18, 14 assists, 11 in 17 with 7 assists. 20 back to 22s, and then yeah, this is the real season still time. Still performing very well, but just maybe not getting the goals and the assists that he was before. 7 goals, 4 assists in 31, and 5 and 2 assists in 21. Only 8 starts actually, so yeah, between him and Di Stefano, maybe they're not playing, if they're playing 2 strikers, they're not playing 2 of the oldies, they may be playing a young one and 1 of the 2 maybe. That's why we're seeing a bit less, but when they're playing, they're doing the job and doing what they've got to do. Bobby Moore, still also at Man City, still absolutely bossing it, still got good pace, good acceleration, he's still got his physicals. He's still got everything to go for a couple more years actually. And he's on 147 caps, 4 goals. Let's see if he's retired. 2032, so it does look like a lot of them are going about 32. He is on 275 grand a week, 6.5 million. Just been Man City for years since he left Everton again, and still performing very, very well. Obviously not getting many, he didn't get any goals this season, but he's been hitting a few goals the last couple of seasons actually. His best goal scoring returns, 4, 5, 3, 3, and then 0. Less games as well, but 1 assist, 5 assists. He's got a few assists and goals. Good few Polar matches as well, and a good average rating over the course of his career. Only had, what, 1 season with 6, I think, and that was in his Everton days. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Nearly dropped into it there, but not quite. But yeah, absolutely beast of a defender for Man City over the years. Eusebio, I don't think he was at Man City when we finished last time. Was he? No, has he been there from the start? Maybe he's been there for, let me look at my list. He's been there from the start, okay. Never mind, ignore that. 132 caps, 94 goals. £8 million in value, 175 grand a week. He's a rotation, he's got another year left on his contract. Yeah, pace, stamina, all gone. Acceleration still there. Got mentals, physical, technicals still good. It's just the physicals that are lacking a tad. Did he? We're not going to check everyone, but I'm just interested to see. A lot of them are retiring in 2032, which would make them 30 years of age. That's very young for a lot of them. I don't know why they all seem to be doing that. Pushkas, he's at Cardiff. Okay, he's gone down later in his career to a lower level. I mean, not as harsh, but I assume they're in the Premier League. Maybe they're doing some competing, or maybe he's just decided he needs to go somewhere. He's left Man United after he's only played a few games for Cardiff. It's only been the last season or so. 111 caps for Hungary, 121 goals, positive goals to appearances swing. Absolutely fantastic. £5 million in value, 145 grand a week. And it'd be interesting to see if he went on a free to Cardiff. No, he didn't. It cost them money. So he started off with 20, still started off phenomenal, 29 and 32, 16 and 31, 17 assists, 19 and 9 in 33, 34 and 16. So yeah, this season he really, he must have signed at the end of the summer window. So he played 3 games, 1 goal for United. And they decided to cash in on him for £5.5 million nearly. So very strange one, but he's gone for a total 181 million pounds in his career. That's going to be interesting to see if that's when we look at transfers. We're going to try and look at individual transfer fees and cumulative, so overall in their career. If I can look at it, I will. Kenny Dalglish is at Liverpool. And I don't think that was their last episode. I think he was wanted by Man United, and we were looking at it thinking, oh, he's going to go to someone who in theory was very much a rival in his career, but 101 goals and 132 caps for Scotland, 35 years of age. He's got a year left, rotation at Liverpool, £4.8 million. Physicals, yeah, completely shot to bits now. I've got some good ones there, still got pace, stamina, acceleration, all gone. Still got all the dribbling and the finishing and all that, so I'd be amazed if he isn't still putting away goals. Not doing it quite for Liverpool. He's been there a season. So he was at Barcelona when he left, stayed there for a few more years, 17 and 20, 14 and 22, 10 and 22, and then only 5 and 6. I don't know if that was an injury hit season or whether they had a few players, didn't they, Barcelona? They had got Pele, there was 1 or 2 others, I can't remember off the top of my head who we've mentioned. Who did we mention? He's there. I can't remember. Van Basten, I think, was one of them, possibly. Yeah. So a lot of competition. They shipped him out. He went on a free to Liverpool. 8 and 7 assists in 33 games isn't too bad, actually. We don't know what sort of level Liverpool at this point to say. Are they winning titles? Are they not? Are they mid-table team? Are they scrapping? We don't know. So that could be just a really good bit of business for them, and someone just took them over that season. We don't know. We'll have a look at the league tables over the course of this save in the final episode, I guess, or we'll have a look at where we come to at the end of this season. Ronaldinho is in Milan. He's gone from Barcelona to Milan, just like in real life. 100, what's that? 100. I can't see it on this font. 118 caps, I think, or 119 caps with 47 goals. 1.6 million pounds in value. He's running out of contract at the end of this season. Still a key player. 85 grand a week. Physical's gone. Acceleration, agility's dropped as well. Pace, stamina. Too many nights out in Milan. Obviously taking its toll on good old Ronaldinho. Again, only been there a year for one season. Real dip in his form. So he started off here with a dip in goals. 1 goal in 19, 4 assists, 6 in 25, no assists, but still playing quite well. Possibly a bit of competition for places. Pele maybe dropping into that attacking fielder role, something like that. 22 games, 5 goals, 7 assists. Still good performance, but this was their performance as well as the numbers dropped. 15 starts, 18 games in total. 1 goal, 3 assists and a 6.93, and then 21 and 6 assists for 6.95 at his first season in Milan. And they only gave him a 1-year contract, so he's a key player. So it'll be interesting to see whether they keep him on for another couple of years or just decide to let him go. I don't know. We don't know again where Milan are at, so we can't really comment. We've got Lothar Matthäus at Spartak Moscow, and I'm pretty sure I just saw his name had a bid next to it. No? Let's see what his name said next to it. Retiring, so he's actually of any of the others. No, not yet. So he's at Spartak Moscow, yeah. He's got a retirement next to his name. None of the others have. I'm hoping when I'm editing it, I missed over scrolling who I showed next because it would give a bit away. But yeah, he's diminished quite badly. His physicals particularly. I don't know if he had a lot of these in his technicals anyway, but there's a few under 10s there which maybe have dropped. Acceleration, agility, pace, stamina, all gone to pot. He's got 161 caps, 23 goals, 1.2 million pounds, and he runs out again this season. But he is retiring at the end of this season, so not completely surprising. His first season back, 31 caps, no goals. 31 appearances, no goals, 2 assists. But again, I don't think he's about the goals particularly. But he was popping up with a couple, but they just stopped. Maybe he dropped a bit deeper. He's got a centre back in his remit, but it might well be that he dropped back to be a centre back in his later years. 26 games, 2 assists, no goals. 27, no goals, 9 assists. 24 caps, games, 0 goals, 2 assists. A bit of a drop in average rating here now as well. 14, 0 and 1. Had a good, well, it cost £6 million to play 2 games for them, 7.2 average, and decided to call it a day. If he'd have played more games, maybe he would have carried on, but only making 2 appearances, maybe decided to call it a day. But could he have maybe moved? He's out of contract. He could have maybe gone on to another club and 110 grand a week. There's clubs out there I'm sure would have taken him, even with his diminished physicals. Johan Cruyff was what I was trying to avoid because it's actually a very interesting one. He's gone to Atlanta United in the MLS. Again, pace, all that has just gone. Living up to the story that the MLS is just for a retirement home. I don't know when he went. He's been there about 2 years, so not completely. 128 caps, well yeah, because that's still 33 years old. 128 caps, 58 goals, 165 grand a week, key player. He's not even worth £500,000, but his contract does run out. Well, it runs out in December this year, so he's got about 6 months left to run. And he was at Man United when he left, wasn't he? Yeah. So 2 goals in 30, 9 assists. So the numbers and the goals really dropping. But he wasn't ever really overly consistent. But he wasn't really an out and out striker. He was more a support player, attacking the field, a wide player. But we've seen other players doing that and have been nabbing numbers, but not quite to him. But his last season at United, 5 goals, 7 assists, and a 7.12 average. Very good season to go out on. We went to Atlanta United, which I assume would have been halfway through their season. But he got 8 goals in 10 games, 1 assist, 1 player a match, 7.55 I think that is. His second season was 25 of 16, 6 assists, 7.71, and then 22 and 18 and 3, 11, 6 and 2. But some of these later seasons are going to be quite pivotal to sort of goals and stuff, because, you know, Johan Cruyff coming to Atlanta United, whereas if you've got someone like Mario maybe playing for like Barcelona, for example, they might be playing well, but you might not be getting games, might not be getting goals. Johan Cruyff's going to play every game, or most of the games, and he's probably going to score a lot of them. He's not in contention, he's got about half the goals of some of the others, but that's just an example. Something like that could happen. You know, if Pele in his next deal goes to, I don't know, somewhere, I don't know, Shakhtar Donetsk, he's probably still going to tear that league apart, even at 36, 37, if he goes that long. And if someone who's competing with him, I think it was like Ruud Gullit or something like that, retires, or he's still at United but not getting as many games, he's going to get usurped. So that's something to consider when you're putting your bets down below in the comments. Stanley Matthews, who I think might be the last player at the bottom of the list. When I was trying to search who the retirement one was, I think it was him. 35 years old, 135 caps, 63 goals. On loan from Newcastle at Mainz. 28 grand a week, 475 value, again less than half £1 million. He's had a stint at Arsenal, which I think has been here since our last episode. He's then gone to Newcastle as well, so he's had a few moves. What's his loyalty? I think it's a hidden one, isn't it? Again, pace, stamina, acceleration, agility, all gone. Still got some good mental technicals, obviously, but yeah, his physicals have just let him down, like a lot of them. Started at West Ham, went to Man United for £84 million, been there for a very long time. He didn't run out of contract the last episode, or he may well have done it, but Arsenal fought to spend £83 million on him. He did well, 37 games, 18 goals, 8 assists, and a very good average rating. And then 29, 16, 4 assists, even better, well no, not quite a better average rating, but maybe better over less games, not too sure. Not quite sure with averages. 18, a bit of a diminution, a bit of a drop at this point, maybe Grove's decline kicked in. 18 for his goals and 2 assists and a 6.95. I think that's the first 6 season in his career. It is. He's always had 7s, at least. At that point now, they sold him to Newcastle for £21.5 million. So they managed to get some money back off him after, 3 years. And they signed him for 83 at 32 odd? 30 odd? 31, something like that. Sold him at like 34, 35. Yeah, he did okay at Newcastle first season, 37, 5 goals, 7 assists, 6.99. But then they loaned him to Germany in the Bundesliga to Mainz, 1 goal, 2 assists, 0 player matches, 6.59 games. So possibly a bit of a. He does actually plan to retire on 2037. I didn't see a thing next to his name. Let's have a look. Yeah, he has. We'll have a quick scroll up in a minute as well. Yeah, that's the real players now. So has he got? No, he's just wanted. Bettini, no. Charlton, no. Some of them have got them hidden behind other things, though. And Yashin isn't, but he is injured for 9 days, 3 weeks, a month. At the end of the season, it's fine. He'll be back at the start of next season. So that's where we stand with the players. What we're going to do, we are going to look at what we're going to look at. We'll look at the statistics for goals and stuff now. So I'll just set that up. Okay, so we're back to look at the stats. So now is the time to get your bets in below. So we're going to start with the all-time appearances, which covers everything. George Best is top on 1,003 appearances over his whole career. That is absolutely astounding. 977 for Lev Yashin. I'd imagine he's probably going to end. My bet would be he's going to end up above and far beyond. His goalkeepers generally go on a bit longer. But Best is established at Tottenham. He's still, not sure the performances and the game and stuff, so he could still be in there. We're starting to see a bit more gap here with Rude, Hullet, Beckenbauer, Baggio, and a big drop to Platini. And then we're out of the 800 into the 800s now with Eusebio, Bobby Moore, Diego Maradona, Di Stefano, Hristo Stoichkov, Gerd Muller, down the 700s for Maldini, which I'm very surprised about. Probably Charlton, Pele as well, very surprised about. He's played a lot for Barcelona, but they do rotate him out a bit more, I guess, I don't know. Romario's down there, Stanley Matthews, Van Basten, Puskás. Who's going to be the lowest? Ronaldinho, obviously Ronaldo, isn't there? We'll look at him in a minute as well, actually, see how he compares to a degree. I think we can look at his history, maybe not quite as in depth, which is a bit annoying. We might not be able to do that in the next episode, actually. I might have to come back and sim this maybe less years. I don't know, I might have to come back and sim this a season, so I can keep an eye on it. But that's for me to worry about, which is going to be a bit annoying because I've started releasing these now and I've got less time to record them. I've got one more to record after this, and if I go through and sim these, it's going to take an absolute age, and it's not going to go well. So that's the all-time appearances. All-time goals. Ruud Hullet leads the way with 515. He doesn't look like he's getting caught anytime soon. 515 all-time, that is. So I don't know if that includes international as well, or just club competition, so all club cups and leagues. 466 for Pele. he's made a lot less appearances though, Pele. He's probably got a better average. Baggio back on 459, 456 for Di Stefano, 441 for Muller, 409. Yeah, we're seeing a big disparity now start to appear, getting down to 300s, and we start to get some midfielders, maybe more, a few strikers in there, maybe haven't hit the sort of heights we expected. Stanley Matthews, why is he unhappy? Wants to leave, okay. 237 Stanley Maths, 191. Yeah, we're getting down to Jan Croyce in there, 181, Ronaldinho 137, and obviously Lev Yashin has never hit a goal. I'm still waiting for that moment he pegs one in. He pegs one in somewhere. All-time league appearances is Lev Yashin. Probably again, I'd expect him to hit the appearance targets, smash those. Baggio's behind him, not far behind him actually. He's probably got less time in him. He's a year older as well, a bit older. Best 656, 645. Maradona, who's the bottom? Ronaldinho. All-time difference is 388, 427. Long way to Pele. Yeah, it'd be nice if we could at least get the 400 club. That'd be quite good. League goals. Romario 369, Pele just going 353, Puskás 346, 341 for Hullet, and then yeah, big drop down to Baggio. These four are probably going to be the ones in the race to win it, I'd say. Gerd Muller, they have a good late surge, but not quite enough. Diego Maradona, Di Stefano, obviously Lev Yashin's going to be at the bottom, and the defenders probably more Maldini and Mateus. We've done the all-time league appearances, league goals. So all-time caps. I imagine it's going to be Yashin. It's not, it's Platini, 198. I don't think many of these are going to still be getting capped. Is Platini retired? He's still going, so he's still got a chance to knock a few more out. I'd imagine Yashin is the same. Yeah, so these two still battling out for that. How many between them? Only 5 between them. Okay, and a bit of a drop for Bobby Charlton, who I imagine probably has retired. 175 for Maldini, 70 for Van Basten, 170 for Pele, 168 for Baggio, Mateus, 55 for Muller, 143 goals for Muller. Is that going to be beaten? I know Puskás got a lot for Hungary, what, it was 120 I think. I don't know if 143 by Muller is going to be beaten. 155 games as well, that's incredible. Ruud Hullet, 147, yeah. Who's down the bottom? Di Stefano with 93. I think Ronaldo didn't get many. There was a lot of Brazilian players ahead of him for a lot of time. I don't think he would have been up there in the caps, but we'll have a look at him in a minute. Don't want to forget about him. And then all international goals, 143, yeah, Gerd Muller, 20 ahead of Puskás. Is Baggio retired? I don't think he's going to get another 25 goals. Yeah, he retired 3 years ago, so no one's catching Gerd Muller. Is he still going? Let's see if he's still going. He's still going. Could he get 150 goals? 150 international goals would just be absolutely insane. We can still check that obviously at the next episode because it will be in their bio or their hopefully testing the game obviously. Puskás 121, Baggio 120, Hullet 117. I think Hullet's still going. He can. No, he's not. He retired a couple of years ago. It's a shame they can't come out of retirement. I assume it doesn't happen. Pele, is he still going? He's still going, so he can maybe notch a few more. He's a long way back though, to be fair, to get another position. Kenny Dalglish, Platini, all in the 100 club for goals. Maradona just misses out. Is he still going? He's still going, so he can hit the 100 club still. Eusebio, 6 more to get. Is he still going? No, he's gone. He's not going to hit the 100 club. Romario, I'd be amazed if he's not still going. Still going, so he can hit it as well. Van Basten, I think, yeah, 12 goals. He's probably a bit far back now, even if he is still playing. And obviously get down to the bottom, get to the defenders and whatnot, the goalkeeper. No goals for Yashin. I just want to see him grab a goal. Bobby Moore, Maldini, Mateus, Beckenbauer, and then Ronaldinho, the really furthest back sort of attacking player, I guess, if you look at it that way. So that's those. We've only got one retirement, so it's not worth me looking at the Ballon d'Ors and stuff yet. I want to do that as an overall thing at the end. Maybe try and keep a tally and do a little table at the end. If I have time to do that, I absolutely will. It depends if I have to go through and reload this save and play through again. I'm not too sure. So I can't look at the transfers and the fee. It doesn't have any data here. I don't know if it's only because it's seasonal. It's a a bit annoying, but we obviously can at the end look at all-time transfers in the world, and it will still be standing. We'll see how they compete against the rest of the world. We can have a look at competitions. So we're going to go to World Cup, overview stages. So where do we come? We were last time on 32. I think it was just about to start, wasn't it? That was 30. That was the Euros then. So did we see this one? Italy beating France. I don't think we did then 30. Did we not look at 30? USA beating Spain on extra time. Maybe we did. I think it does ring a bell. We'll have a look anyway just to make sure. USA losing to Italy. I think it did. It happened in Italy as well. It's 2034. Final was Brazil beating Russia in the final. Levi Yashin getting to the final. Portugal losing to Russia on penalties. I imagine Yashin having a big part in that as well. And then Brazil beating Germany 3-2. So it's in Japan by the looks of it again. Saitama, Yokohama definitely. I think Saitama is Japan as well. It is. So not shared with South Korea this time by the looks of it. And then 2008, it's next year. So we'll see that in the next episode. So we'll come back out of that. We'll go to Europe and we'll go to the European Championships. We can go to overview. So 2034. 2032 rather was the one we just missed. Scotland pipping England to their group. Okay, so Spain losing to Holland in the semi-finals, and Denmark in extra time beating Germany. So where do we call it? We didn't do it for the World Cup, but I forgot to do it. It's going to call who's going to win this. It's got to be Holland, just from the amount of players that we know were probably retired after this tournament actually. Yeah, so we had a few Dutchies here. Denmark win 2-0 in the Nou Camp. Interesting, we probably can't look at that. No, we can't. And then drop that back down to the semi, just so we're not getting caught out again. So in 2036, last year, Germany beat Italy 2-0, and England in extra time beat France. If it was anyone but Germany, I'd say England, because they've got a good Stanley Matthews, Charlton. There's a good core in there, but Germany have got some unbelievable. They've got some unbelievable players in there. It's got to be Germany. 6-3. Wow. In Berlin, I can't look at it annoyingly. So they played it at home, they won 6-3. That's absolutely insane. And that is, in actual fact, it's the Euros next year. The World Cup is in 2040, which we will see. We will just miss the European Championships in 42, just after that, unfortunately. If we scroll back, we're going to go back to Europe. This is the quickest way of doing it, I think. We'll look at the Champions Cup. We'll have a look at the Europa League as well, actually, because we haven't looked at that the whole way through, so we'll just go a quick whiz through all the way through and catch up. We get to stages, we go to semi-final. 32-33. Barcelona beat Man United and Man City beat Arsenal, so 3 English clubs in semi-final there, and Man City beating Barcelona. I think we might have saw that the last episode. No, I think we did. Was it the same as the last season? Man City winning it. I knew they were involved. So Man City again. We'll get to the semi-final just so we're not caught out. The following season, Man City losing to PSG and Tottenham beating Arsenal. North London derby, 3-2 on aggregate. Do I not like that? We've seen a few Arsenals in the semis. PSG win on penalties against Tottenham. That's fine. At the Puskás Stadium, named after his granddad, of course. Yeah, that's a good one. PSG winning. I don't think we've seen much of PSG actually in the Euros. Tottenham again in there. Barcelona in there, losing to Tottenham. And Man City losing the Manchester derby to Man United this time. I'm going to call it as... I'm sticking Man United. They've got a lot of more players there. 2-1, yep. In the Millennium Stadium, okay. And then we've got 35-36. Arsenal beating Barcelona on penalties, okay. PSG lose to Man City. I'm going with Man City still. Is that 3 on the bounce? Yeah, they win on penalties after 3 draw in Madrid. I wasn't surprised by that in the slightest. And City have just got so many players in this save, it's ridiculous. In the current season, Tottenham beating Real Madrid, PSG beating Barcelona. I'm going to go with, as much as it pains me to say it, I'm going with Tottenham to win this one. PSG win it 3-0. Okay, as you do. Kiev is the face of the final. no one we know, obviously PSG. Back as the one that Romario's trying to get to move to Tottenham. But yes, Tottenham. Oh, Lev Yashin. He was injured at the end of the season. Maybe he missed this game. Who's this guy? No caps for England, 20 years old. He's decent. 2.5 million, but he's not Lev Yashin. Big part of that there. They had George Best started, Romario started, went off. I thought it was Carlos Alberto for a minute there. I was thinking I didn't put him in. Yeah, so I mean, they weren't the races in this game really. PSG deserving that. Yeah, we don't recognise any of those. What we'll have to do, we'll have a quick scroll through the Euro Cup. That's the Europa League, isn't it? Yep, I think so. So stages. We'll go back to, we'll just keep it on final. We'll just whiz all the way through from the start. So from the very start, Ajax beat Man United 2-1. I think that was the final in real life the year before, maybe? No, the year before that even, I think. Yeah, Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid was the year before that, I think. And then the year before that would have been, I think United beat Ajax, I think. Tottenham lose to Valencia 2-1. Did we actually have a quick flick through this before? I'm not too sure. Tottenham beat Chelsea on penalties. I can't look at any of these games, so I'm just literally whizzing through them. Arsenal win a title, get beaten Valencia. We've seen Valencia a few times. Chelsea beating Milan on penalties. Arsenal beating Schalke 3-1 in Vienna. Tottenham beating Milan 2-0 in Sevilla. Chelsea beating Everton 2-0. Napoli winning 2-1 against Tottenham in extra time. And Chelsea beating Everton. Liverpool beating Tottenham. Schalke losing to Chelsea 3-1 there. We've seen a lot of English clubs, obviously, not surprisingly, it is the main league loaded. Tottenham beating Bilbao 3-0 to get another one. Liverpool beating Monaco in Brussels. Tottenham beating Sevilla. Sporting Lisbon, possibly with Ronaldinho, he's probably gone by that point actually, no, he's gone by that point. Beating Chelsea in Yerevan, I want to say that's Armenia, I'm not too sure. Chelsea then beating Milan 2-1 in, no idea where that stadium is. Then Dortmund beating Spartak Moscow 2-0. I don't know if that was with Mateus, I think was there, or I think it was Mateus. And then Borussia Dortmund 2 years in a row, but losing to, did they lose last year as well? No, they won the year before, and then lost to Arsenal just this season on penalties, 1-0 after in Frankfurt. We can look at this one, okay. Gerd Muller getting the goal on 28, and Muller missed his penalty. That's not best, is it? Stephen Bill. I thought it was Ian Bill then, that would have been amazing. Who else did they have? Roberto Baggio went off. That was it. Okay, so that's it for the cups. So yeah, we're going to come back for the next episode. Hopefully I can actually we need to look at Ronaldo. We can't let go without seeing Ronaldo. I'm going to skip the order a little bit. We've done everything we need to. We're going to go shortlist. Staff shortlist. So he got 47 goals in 74 games. He didn't hit the 100 club on either side for Brazil. Very disappointing. Career stats. So he ended at Real Madrid. He only ended a year ago. Interesting to see if that was by injury or whatnot. We'll try and have a look at his bio in a minute. So he started at Fulham, so 32. He's finished here. Then got 8 and 11 for Real Madrid, 11 in 21, 13 in 21, and 10 in 20. So I don't know why I decided to call it a day. Let's see. Doesn't say anything there. Let's have a look at his. I should look at his bio. Biography. Doesn't say, does it? No, there's quite an important problem with Fulham. So his contract maybe just ended and no one else picked him up. I think that's what it sounds like, which is very surprising. I mean, you can't see his playing stats unfortunately, but he is going to be a oh no, it's his favourite personnel. I thought it said he's been a Brazilian manager already. That would be absolutely crazy. So yeah, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap this up here, and I'm going to go look at the other save and see if I do need to plough through it and save it a bit more staggered. do it that way, which is going to be very long-winded for the last episode, but if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do drop a like down below. Please do drop a sub if you're new to the channel, and hit that subscription bell for more experiments coming in the future, and Arsenal and Cole Shorten saves going on. And any comments down below in relation to, you know, who's going to be finishing most caps, most international goals. I mean, that's kind of ended now anyway. Let me know down below if you guessed right. All-time appearances, all-time goals, all-time league appearances, all-time league goals. Who do you think as well has commanded the biggest transfer fee? We haven't looked at that. We've obviously seen it through the course of the save, so it'd be a good memory if you remember it. You know, will they be actually top? Do you reckon a regen or someone like maybe Neymar or someone has maybe got that record? Let me know. If we can look at overall transfer fees commanded, we'll try and see that as well. I'll try and work that out as well. So yeah, until next time, the next episode, final episode, episode 7, 40 years old in 2042. I'll see you later. Take care.